Hello students, back to the world of economics. Yes, we will continue with chapter number 2. Our today's topic is trade cycle. Now, economic activities go through phases of dynamic changes. Yes, economic activities also go through the different stages of changes. These changes are constant. Such changes are basically of 4 types. The first one is irregular changes, second seasonal changes, third long run regular trends, fourth one is long run dynamic changes which are cyclical in nature. I first start with irregular changes. These are accidental changes which occur in an economic activity. Example, flood, famines, storms, fires, and so on. Yes, these are accidental changes which sometimes occur. Such changes impact an economic activity in short run and sometimes in long run. Yes, if the famine continues, say for 8 to 10 years, then it will have a long run impact on agriculture sector. If it is for only 2 to 3 years, then it will have a short run impact on agriculture sector. These changes may generally occur and or have their impact in some sectors or some regions of an economy only. Yes, they won't impact all the different sectors or all the regions. It will affect only some sectors or some regions. For example, only in agriculture sector or only in the industrial sector. Now we move on to the second one, that is seasonal changes. These changes regularly occur in economic activities with changing seasons. Yes, with the change in seasons, the economic activities also change. For instance, demand for certain goods changes by seasons and accordingly production and employment may change. For example, raincoat and woolen clothes. They both are demanded seasonally and accordingly their production is done. Now we move on to the third one, that is long run regular changes. Some changes occur in a given direction in the form of a trend. These are directional changes which occur in an activity. For example, some regular sales trend. Yes, the sales of a particular product may increase or it may decrease. So over here the changes are occurring which is going in a particular direction. Now we move on to the fourth one, that is cyclical changes. Dynamic fluctuations, that is constant fluctuations arising in an economy over its long run growth leading to rise, that is upward swing in growth of economic activities, and fall, that is downward swing, are called trade cycles. The rise and fall in the economic activity is cyclical in nature. Now, with the name itself, we can understand it easily. Cyclical changes. It is just like a cycle. Over here, sometimes the economy will be leading upwards. That is, the swing is upward. We are progressing. Sometimes it will fall. That is downward swing. So we say that it is cyclical in nature. Students, now we move on to the definitions of a trade cycle. According to Haebler, trade cycle is an interval that embraces altering periods of prosperity, that is good time, and depression, that is bad time. It means over here that in the trade cycle we see the different kind of changes. We see that there are altering periods of upward swing and downward swing. It means sometimes there is prosperity, sometimes it is depression. According to Hawtrey, trade cycles are continuous phases of good and bad changes occurring in the economy. Again, over here, the trade cycles are constant changes of good and bad changes. Same thing, downward and upward swing. Now we move on to the characteristics of a trade cycle. They depict dynamic changes in the economy. They depict the constant changes in the economy. They depict the positive and negative changes in the economy. Yes, positive, negative changes again over here means prosperity and depression. These arise because of several factors. Yes, obviously there are some reasons behind it. The last and the fourth one is trade cycles have various phases and each phase does not last for uniform period. Now over here the trade cycle has got 4 different phases and each and every phase may differ in the time period. Say for example, if boom is for 1 year, then it is not necessary that the other phase, that is recession, may last for the same time period. Now our next topic is phases of trade cycle. A trade cycle has 4 different phases. The first is boom or inflation, the second is recession, third is depression, the last one is recovery. I first start with boom. This is a period when economic activity reaches the maximum growth level in a given time period. Demands have peaked and so have incomes and profits. Yes, in this phase of a trade cycle, the demands have peaked, means the demand is at highest, at the maximum level. The incomes, the profits are also at highest levels. Thus, this period is also called peak period. Now we move on to the second one, that is recession. This period follows the period of boom. It means that after boom there is recession. When economic activity peaks in a given period and investment and employment have reached the highest possible levels, a slowdown occurs. Demand slows down, investment and employment follow. So over here we will see that after the boom, the economic activity will start slowing downwards. It will come downwards. So over here the demand will reduce and obviously the investment will also reduce. Automatically the employment will also reduce. Yes, as the demand is reducing, employment will also be reducing and so investment will also be less. The third phase is depression. The slowdown in the recession phase continues to cause a depression when all activities reach at minimum level under those circumstances. So over here, all the activities like demand, production, investment, employment are at the lowest level. So it is obvious that the confidence of buyers, producers and investors in the economic activity will also be at the lowest level. In the phase of recession, consumers start expecting further fall in price and reduce the demand in expectation of further price fall. Over here, the consumers start demanding less because they think that if the demand less, the price will fall. And over here, as it is said that as the demand is less, the price will also fall. So with the fall in demand, production reduces, employment also reduces, causing further reduction in demand. Over here, as the employment is reducing, so the people involved in the activity won't be able to earn. So it is obvious that the demand will also reduce. Thus, the depression is caused. Now we move on to the last phase, that is recovery. When depression lasts for some time, the suppressed demand starts emerging. Over here, the demand starts increasing. Governments may try to boost investment and employment, and certain times technological changes happen in long run. Over here, the government will start investing. As the demand is increasing, the investment is increasing, so automatically the employment will also increase. This leads to recovery of demand, employment and investment. These types of cycles occur in all economies and all economic activities in the long run. However, in market-oriented economies, these occur more openly, while they may be suppressed by the state and state-controlled economies. Market-oriented economies are free markets, where buying and selling is done freely, where most companies are not owned by the state. Here, products are made to satisfy the customers. So, these types of cycles occur more openly in market-oriented economies, while they may be suppressed, they may be subdued by the state in the state-controlled economies. Students, I hope you all are clear with the different topics. With this, I am done with chapter number 2. Thank you.